Hi there, welcome to the Bristol Show 2025. I am Brad and I am joined by internationally renowned singer, performer, all-round diva, Lyn Stanley. Lyn.
Not exactly a diva, but you know.
I don't know, you were just telling me you're having troubles with FedEx, so
Yeah, I'm really not happy with them.
So, second year at the show.
Second day at the show. I'm waiting for a red trunk that I have shipped from California. It has not yet arrived with my product in it for the show, so it's been real. Yeah, I was able to bring 2 of these with me for use at the show. I gave one to David Viven.
Right.
And then I only have this one left, which was really meant for Neville Roberts initially.
Right.
But since we didn't have another one, here we are. And waiting for the red trunk.
Well, hopefully the red trunk will arrive today, but tell us a little bit about
the album.
Tribute to 1924.
Yeah, well, this is a wonderful album. It's my last album.
This I was told at the bar the other night, this is Lyn's last album.
For the audiophile market.
For the audiophile market, which we'll discuss a bit later on. But so obviously what you said was that all the songs on this album are 100 years old.
Yes, at least. There's one that's from 1913.
Right.
You Made Me Love You is that one. And all the rest are from 1924.
Wow, that's...
So we reinvented them, and we had Alan Sides be the engineer for the project, and Bernie Grenman, and then I have fabulous players again. I've got David Bowie's piano player for 35 years.
Wow.
Mike Garson, and he's on the back side, my photo of the...
Yeah, you've got some lovely photos on the back.
Yeah, I got the photo on the back. You can see it too. So I've got Mike. I have a picture of my son in here, by the way.
Oh, right. Lovely.
Yeah, Alan Sides is here. Luis Conte, who is the percussionist for James Taylor.
Right.
And Chuck Berghofer, who worked with Frank Sinatra for a long time.
You always surround yourself with some of the most...
great
talented musicians, which is just, it's mind-blowing. You're a magnet for these people to just center around, you know. It shows in the music, you know. It's absolutely fantastic.
It was really fun when we were recording the album. Mike Garson, in the session I had him in, we replaced the original piano player, and his work wasn't exactly the way we wanted it to go, so we hired Mike to come in and do overdubs. And John Cudini, the guitarist, which is here, he was Peggy Lee's and Natalie Cole's from Unforgettable album, guitarist. He and I worked together at the United Recording Studio, which is where Reprise albums and all that were done. And we coached Mike, and we had him psychologically go back into as if he were in the session.
Yeah.
And if he went on a direction, he's so quick on his understanding of what people want from him.
Yeah.
So if he would have only maybe on 1 or 2 songs gone a kind of slightly different direction, we brought him back, and it was probably the best musical day I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, wow. But you're dealing with
pros.
With professionals of such caliber that it's all sort of like shorthand and second nature, that probably riffing off each other and just unspoken. There's lots going on that just happens.
Yeah, but when Mike said to me at the end, you know, we're doing 1924, and The Man I Love is one of the songs from the 1924 era. And Mike said, I want to do that. And I said, I don't have a vocal for that one.
Yeah.
And because it would have been the 11th song, basically. And we pulled up from a day, you know, we had a hard drive, but we pulled up a solo vocal of me doing The Man I Love from another album.
Yeah.
And Mike played to that, and I was astounded at what I heard. He didn't even come in the beginning. He just popped in somewhere about 3/4 or maybe 1/3 in.
Yeah.
And I was floored by it, and so I said, I have to do a vocal to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we did a vocal to it, and then I heard that, and I said, it needs a guitar. So I said to John, I need you to come in and add, and I said, not your electric. It has to be acoustic. So it's just this really 5-minute sparse recording that is absolutely stunning.
And obviously, like, you know, you were here last year, and that was your first show. For the people that might not have seen our interview from last year, you and who might not be familiar with your work,
Yeah.
you're not just your everyday singer. You work with hi-fi in mind.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my stepfather was an audiophile.
Yeah.
And so early on, I was trained, and I was always given the job to clean the whole
We
dang
spoke about this
house.
last year, yeah. So the reward of cleaning the house was that you could use the
Stereo.
hi-fi. Yeah, absolutely. So, which I think is brilliant.
It was a little feed, what do you
Yeah.
call it? A little trade-off or a treat if you did that right.
Yeah, but obviously you've mentioned that this is your last hi-fi album because
Yes.
it must be so intense, not just to produce music, but produce music to get the best out of high-fidelity systems.
Yeah, everything that could possibly go wrong on this album happened, but it got corrected. And we had to mix it twice because the first mix, nobody realized we used my raw vocal.
Yeah.
And no one was complaining about my raw vocal. But when I gave it to my vocal coach, she said, there's certain things I would have rather you done that I would want you to do. So we had Alan go back and mix again.
Yeah.
But then I decided when we did that, we had already attempted to do a quad DSD
Yeah.
in addition to the analog, what I normally do. And I had this crazy idea this time to do, when we were printing the mix, to push the button simultaneously with the quad DSD and the tape.
Yeah.
And we grabbed them both at the same time.
And how did they differ? What did you...
So the quad DSD, as you know, is a really, really high resolution.
Yeah.
If you talk about 24 192s, this baby's 32 11,900
Yeah.
and something. It's out of over
Different
the top.
orbit, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you cannot change a thing.
Right.
As you cannot with analog tape either, unless you do the splicing thing. But
Yeah.
on DSD,
That's
all.
it.
It's done. And so I decided after listening to it how good it was. I thought, a digital, going all the way through on the digital channel, whereas in the past my SACDs were made from the analog tape.
Yeah.
But this time I thought, I would like to do a little bit more challenging stuff. So I had given it to Bernie Grunman, to the quad DSD and the tape, and I had him order up a Pure Mix machine, and I said, listen to them, A-B them in the same song. And he had a hard time.
Wow.
But he said, I think the analog is a little smoother, and I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I'm very used to it. So I said, okay, well, let's do the analog with the LP, which I would want anyway. But when it comes to the digital, I think I'm going to head towards the quad DSD. And he said, oh, wait, let me try and show you, a rendition of the digital.
Yeah.
From the analog. And I listened to it, and then I listened to the quad, and I was more impressed.
And there we have it. And so obviously we discussed that you're moving from California.
Yes, so I'm leaving California. Yay.
And you're buying a big old house in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm charging a boatload of money for my house in California,
Yeah.
which has an ocean view, 5 cities, and city lights and all that. And I decorated it up. I kind of really love to do housing projects.
Yeah.
It's one of my other passions. I love to cook. I love to reinvent homes, and I love to sing.
This is becoming a home show because I had Roy Gandy here yesterday and we were talking, and he's had planning application blocked for a house that he wants to build made out of like revolutionary concrete. So this is the Bristol Hi-Fi Show, I promise you. But we're now talking about houses. But yeah, so we were joking the other night that now you're going and you're going to have all that land. This is your last hi-fi album. Maybe just roll it back, get a 4-track cassette, and then
country. Right?
This is the country era. That's what I want next year.
Brad wants me to go country.
I want her to go country. Hey, Cowboys are in at the moment.
Yeah, man.
I'm watching Yellowstone, so it's.
There you go. Well, I have done Patsy Cline's "Crazy" in one of my albums.
There you go. So you're not far removed from it.
No. It's going to be. I have a house there now and a barn.
Yep.
And a chicken coop.
So you've got barn and chickens. You get some livestock. You're done.
I'm good.
You're
Yeah,
sorted.
it's 7.69 acres of land. So I'm renovating the lower floor right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to then on the hill behind it.
Yeah.
Do a house, a
There
new
we
one.
go.
And then I'll turn the existing house into a recording studio. That's my plan.
Well, yeah, that's That would be great.
That's my plan. And then I have the barn, and what I'll do with the barn most likely will be a warehouse type of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll come visit. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do a
Please
video from there. Yeah.
Please do. It's only in a community of 600 people, the population.
Wow.
And so
everyone
it's
knows
really laid
everyone.
back.
Yeah.
And it's about 2 hours from Boston.
Okay.
So it's not a long drive, you know.
There you go.
Like,
Well,
thank you.
it sounds incredible. Very jealous. So for the people watching, where can they listen to your music if they can't get hold of presumably they can buy a physical copy online or?
Oh yeah,
in
they
the
will be
UK?
able to. It's on
Yeah.
a pre-order right now at lynstanleyjazz.com.
Right.
And but it will be. I will be putting the tracks up on streaming.
Yep.
In the near future. So it'll be there, and then also on my website will have the SACD, which I now have.
Yep.
Amen. A USB drive with just the 1644 and the MP3, and then the vinyl is ready for me to. It's packed. It got packed the day I left on the plane
Right.
to come here, so I'll be picking that up and sending it out to my pre-orders.
Yeah.
And then anyone else after that wants one. It's a one-step, and I'm selling it for $85, which is an incredible price for 2 one-steps, 180 gram and 45 RPM.
There you have it.
There you
Go
have it.
have a listen. You've got quite an extensive back catalogue online. How many albums have you done now?
11.
11. So 11 albums. Go have a listen. They're online. Buy it from the lynstanleyjazz.com and
Thank
enjoy.
you.
Well, Lyn, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you,
today.
Brad.
And will we see you next year, or will you be too busy with house renovations?
I hope so.
It would be lovely to have you back. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure having you, and hopefully we'll see you at the Bristol Show next year. Take care. Bye.